Oh, I guess he got dressed. So this guy's name is Ben? Was that revealed anywhere? I'll have to go back and check. One way to find out if this leads back into the same room. No, this is a different room. Freshen up your memory about the last case. Oh, okay. I didn't have any hints that I could do that. And now I've got this little briefcase thing, which has got a map. And it's labeled Ben's apartment. So the main character's name is Ben. Okay. What have we got here? Rusty Crow Pub, St. Michael's Church, Vic's Workshop, and the Churchyard. Anything else I can do in here before I look at this board? Alright, let's have a look. Case, the murder of my family. Oh. Alright, so let's figure out here. Where do we start from? Let's start from the left and go to the right. Suspicious car parked outside. Family gets abducted. Black goo in abandoned factory. There's a sample of black goo here. Okay. The missing boy case. I don't know how that's related yet. Was a setup. There's the black goo. Why is this highlighted? I'm having trouble understanding so far what some of this means. Are these... Will I be able to draw these at some point? Anyway. What is behind the abductions? Tall, plump Varney knock us out? Oh, you can move these. Okay. Tall, plump Varney knock us out. What's a Varney? Hold on one second. What is a Varney? A Stuart Varney. I don't think it's that. I can't find any definition for the word Varney anywhere.
I failed the first time, and you may not tell anyone.
So, okay. It could be a vehicle. Could be... Don't know. Who's behind abductions? Who murdered my family? Corpses found in Davy Road. Why that place? Lighthouse under repairs. The lighthouse door... View... Oh, can I zoom in? Oh, I can. Good. The lighthouse... Clear view of the crime scene. The lighthouse was under repairs. Okay. Repairments. People can't be found. Interesting. Reported theft in Merrick Cove storages. Merrick backs down from the reported theft. Does Merrick know something? Nobody ever saw the driver. Suspicious ice cream truck in Davy Road. Nobody saw anything unusual besides the truck. The brand went bankrupt soon after. Was this Volky Scoops ice cream truck? Could be the same Varney. Witness said the culprit had a big silhouette. So let's review here. Something about a driver, suspicious ice cream truck in Davy Road. Corpses found in Davy Road. Why that place? Could be that they were just dropped off from the ice cream truck, left on Davy Road. Who's behind the abductions? Tall, plump Varney knocks us out. Was it set up? Missing boy case. I wonder... I almost want... Oh, there's more. Okay. Catherine saw a suspicious car parked outside our house a day before the events, but right when she stabilized... What? No, right when she established... Okay, I'm gonna keep moving. Direct visual contact with the car, they went away pretty quickly. It is likely they didn't want to be seen there, especially not by her. October 27th, 1882, my family got abducted. Carl and I... Who's Carl? Carl and I were rushing to the physician. He was driving when a dispatch call said somebody broke into my address, so we went to my old house and everything was torn apart and my family gone. I really wish somebody proofread this. He was driving when a dispatch call... Oh, so he was a cop. Okay. The missing boy case. We got a lead about the old case of the missing boy, who was abducted in the middle of the night from his house. That lead got me and my partner to go check that old abandoned factory where everything got screwed. Okay. Black goo. Nearby the crime scene there was a thick black goo staining the walls, floor, etc. What could it possibly be? Some tests were done to this substance with no clear results. Well, what do we know about it? Does it resemble anything known? How viscous is it? Okay. Black goo in abandoned factory. This is the key clue that led us to the old factory. More black goo spotted. More black goo spotted nearby the entrance by some passers-by. Was a setup. Did somebody tell them we were going? Was it a setup? When we arrived at the factory, every lock was open as if somebody wanted us to be there to bite that bait and fall right into their trap. There was a huge, bulky Varney watching us after I regained consciousness. He went away. Okay, so a Varney is a person. I don't know if that's some sort of English slang. I apologize. We went away for a short while. We were tied to a chair with chains. Carl managed to lose the chain and broke free, but mine was too tight. He went away to call for backup. When the big Varney came, he set me free only to fight me to break my bones? What? What? Why? That doesn't make any sense. Carl managed to loose the... Did he mean loose the chain? But mine was too tight. He went away to call for backup. When the big Varney came, he set me free only to fight me to break my bones. So... wait a minute. Why would Carl leave you? Why would Carl not be able to help you? Because your chains were too tight. Okay. I'm just gonna accept this and move on. Who's behind the abductions? Who could possibly be the individual behind the abductions? With what purpose? Those... Oh, God. With what purpose? Those criminal Varneys faced in the raid? Some shady dealer? Some rich asshole? Could it be Carl that led me to the old factory? Who snitched? Do we have dirty constables at the station? This is a little hard to read. I mean, I can read it. I just don't want to, because every single time I see the punctuation in weird places, it makes me want to restart again, and I just get a little bit more frustrated every single time. Who murdered my family? Who killed my wife and daughter? What do I know so far? After the gruesome display of their bodies at edge of the city... After the gruesome display of their bodies at edge of the city, I can no longer define what type of persons could commit such atrocities. I have no clear hunches. I'm completely lost. corpse is found in Davy Road. Why that place? Why Davy Road? Is it a special location? Is it connected to their abduction somehow? Davy Road, it's almost outside of the city. I see how such a crime can only be perpetrated where no eyes can see, but of all of the roads out of town, why this one? Davy Road is almost outside of the city. I see how such a crime can only be perpetrated where no eyes can see, but of all the towns out of... Well, didn't that just answer the question? If there's nobody there to see it, that's probably why they chose that road. I don't know. The lighthouse has a really clear view of the area the crime took... The lighthouse has a really clear view of the area the crime took place. The lighthouse keeper could have seen something only if he was working in the time frame between the abduction and the discovery of the bodies. So the lighthouse was abandoned at the time. There was nobody there? Lighthouse under repairs. Lighthouse keeper told me there was a crew of people repairing the bulb and the circuits of the lighthouse just the night before we found the bodies. He was instructed to go away quietly. He only talked to one person while the rest of the crew just walked past him behind his eyesight. He only talked to one person while the rest of the crew just walked past him behind his eyesight? If they walked past him, how didn't he see anybody? Or do you mean to say they were behind him and he couldn't see them? Oh boy, this one doesn't make any sense. Lighthouse keeper told me there was a crew of people repairing the bulb and the circuits of the lighthouse just the night before we found the bodies. He was instructed to go away quietly. He only talked to one person while the rest of the crew just walked past him behind his eyesight. Sorry, I'm having a real problem trying to figure out what they're saying here. Did the lighthouse keeper go to the lighthouse, saw the people were working, someone came up to him and said, "Go away quietly," and he could see behind the person that said that, the people that were working, but they were too far out of sight that he couldn't make any details? Is that what you're trying to say here? I don't know. I'm always wary about filling in too many blanks, because I don't know if I've got the intention right. I don't know if that's what you're trying to say. And further, do we have any details on the person that he spoke to at the lighthouse? After some digging, I wasn't able to locate any of the so-called technicians of the repairs crew. The only real person, Jerome Greymane, the one that talked with the lighthouse keeper, okay, is not a technician. He is an ex-convicted criminal. He's an ex-con, you can just say that, and apparently left the country. When? All the rest were fake names. The one that talked with the lighthouse keeper is not a technician. He's an ex-con and apparently left the country. When? Did he leave the country after this happened? After the crimes were committed? Or is this somebody who's pretending to be Jerome Greymane and the actual Greymane was out of the country? I wish this was more clear, especially for a detective game. Reported theft in Merrick Company storages. 3 days before the events, there was a report of a robbery in the storages of Merrick Company. Some materials, tools, a big lighthouse bulb, among other things, were reported stolen by the company. So, it sounds like somebody robbed Merrick Company for supplies to make it look like they were repairing the lighthouse bulb. So those are related, potentially. Merrick backs down from the reported theft. Nobody gave too much attention to the robbery. Even Merrick himself called off the report, saying that perhaps some hobo stole those trinkets. Okay. Does Merrick know something? And then we answer the question right here. Merrick knows something. I'm sure of it. How come a greedy bastard like him does not mind at all the stealing of goods? Well, because sometimes the pursuit of, I don't know, goods that are stolen in trivial amounts, for example, is just the cost of doing business. I think it's called inventory shrinkage, and it's normal, especially for retail operations. How come he is not even worried about the security measure of his own company? He must know something. Well, not necessarily. Could just be, like I said, you know, inventory shrinkage is a thing. You expect that a certain amount of your goods are going to be, you know, lifted here and there. I wouldn't presume that he knows something just because he's like, don't worry about it. Like if somebody comes into your office and steals a paperclip, are you going to drop everything to go after that person just because it is a good that is stolen? Or are you just going to be like, it's a paperclip. Cost like a penny. Anyway, moving on. Witness said the culprit has a big silhouette. Silhouette? There was an only witness to the robbery, a storage worker named Redacted, who said to have seen a broad, bulky silhouette carrying stuff out of an storage unit like they were weightless. Okay, let's unpack this. There was a witness to the robbery, a storage worker whose name we're not allowed to know for some reason, who said to have seen a big dude carrying stuff out of a storage unit like it weighed nothing. This is getting tough. Could be the same Varney? Broad, bulky silhouette? Could it be the same individual? That seems like the same description I would give the Varney that broke my leg in the old factory raid. Unfortunately, Carl blew his head with... I'm sorry. It's so childish of me. I think what they mean to say is, that seems like the same description I would give the Varney that broke my leg in the old factory raid. Unfortunately, Carl blew his head off with a shotgun right before the bastard tried stomping on my head. Also, Varneys are known to have some weird supernatural strength. Oh, boy. I know this is a demo, but I'm trying to play this game to figure out whether or not I would want to play the full version when it comes out. And I gotta say, this bothers me. It wouldn't, you know what, if this was a game that didn't focus so much on clues and storytelling, I wouldn't care as much. Like, if I'm playing a game like, I don't know, Borderlands, for example, and there's spelling mistakes, I'd actually think that that's part of the game. That would be normal in that respect. But this is not letting me get into the story. And I find that to be a problem. Anyway, so Varneys are something that seems to be unique to this game, since I can't find any reference to it outside of it. Other than Stuart Varney. And they have weird supernatural strength. I assume that's supposed to be strength. Again, I'm being kind of picky. But also, broad, bulky silhouette could describe a lot of people. That's not enough to say, that sounds exactly like the guy that broke my leg. Like, come on, you're a detective? Suspicious ice cream truck in Davie Road. A few witnesses reported with concern to have seen an ice cream truck parked in the side of the road for several hours, it seems, at this whoa. I'm going to start that again. A few witnesses reported with concern to have seen an ice cream truck parked in the side of the road for several hours, it seems, at the location of the crime scene. Those reports were made a few days earlier from people going out of town or coming back to town in their cars. Did you really need the in their cars part? You could just scratch that out. They're coming in and out of town. Nobody ever saw the driver. Nobody ever saw who was the one driving the ice truck. Oh, man. It's a truck made of ice. Oh, wait. Didn't they do something like that on Mythbusters? Like forever ago, they made an engine block out of ice or something? I can't remember. Was the truck abandoned there just to disappear soon after? What? Nobody ever saw who was the one driving the ice truck. Was it even a driver at all? What? What? Was it even a driver at all? What else would it be?
This makes no sense to us.
I mean, unless you've got the technology in this game in this world for self-driving cars, okay, sure. I can accept that if it's established and it's part of the rules of the world, but we haven't yet, so... And I know this is very early on, and I am going to keep going. Volky Scoops ice cream truck. The ice truck, oh, we're just calling it that now. The ice truck was from the brand Volky Scoops. This brand faced a few lawsuits back in the day when it was still operational. What were the lawsuits about? Is that related? Were there shady business dealings? Was there... I mean, I would accept if there was some ongoing legal battles or whatever. So it might end up being a red herring, but you could say, oh, they had some legal trouble, so they needed money, so they occasionally they would do some, I don't know, under the table shit, under the table stuff. You know, I don't know. I always wondered how a metal worker such as Merrick was also behind an ice cream brand. Is it connected? Do we know that for sure? That seems to be quite a leap. Like, did you look at the paperwork? Did you see that the company was registered to Merrick or anything like that? Come on, man. The brand went bankrupt soon after. Soon after those reports, the brand went bankrupt. The investors vanished, and Merrick never talked about it ever again. Why? What? Okay. I'm guessing that we're supposed to believe that Merrick is directly related to this Volky Scoops place just because he's researching with volcanicite, and because that's a similar word to Volky, that they're related? Anyway, all the factories of the brand were abandoned, and nowadays they are just wastelands with crumbling structures. Okay. So, alright. Nobody saw anything unusual besides the truck. Besides the abandoned ice truck, there were no other kind of reports in the area before or after the events. Nobody saw anything. Nobody knew anything. The road kept being just a plain, boring road as it ever was. Sorry. That last sentence just made me chuckle. Oh, those stupid, plain, boring roads. They need to get more exciting with, like, lights and, you know, racing stripes. Suspicious... I apologize. Suspicious car parked outside. Oh, we're back to the beginning. I gotta say, I've gotten more entertainment out of reading the clues than anything else so far in this game. Okay, so we freshened up our memory, explore your dusty office, and leave my apartment. It's getting late. Why would I leave my apartment if it's getting late? I would want to be in my apartment to go to sleep. Oh, there's more over here. anything I can click on? Ah, that's jarring. I like the look. Honestly, I mean, I kind of like how everything looks. And how all of the appliances have these tanks beside them. I want to know more about this. The aesthetic really appeals to me. Kind of looks like a mix of... what was that werewolf Telltale game? Kind of, the aesthetic kind of looks like that, mixed with Borderlands. Maybe a little bit of Dishonored, too. Ben's apartment keys. Common middle-class apartment... a common middle-class apartment keys. Iron-coated in brass. Mediocre design, but functional. And I guess that's it. I can't do anything with the TV? No? Alright, let's see what's outside. Well, he did say he's got to visit his family, so let's go to the graveyard first.
It's getting quite late. I shall be on my way. I know they're waiting for me.